Well, I'm not as pretty of a face as Amanda, but she's in town doing some Christmas shopping this morning, and as you can maybe tell, maybe not, it is snowing and blowing, and it's minus, oh, I forget what it said, minus 16 I think, with a wind chill of minus 25 or so. So I just finished feeding everybody, and poor Jezzy's out shivering again. So she's very fine-haired and thin-skinned. So we picked up a good used blanket, an insulated blanket for her. So we're gonna blanket her up here, get her all nice and toasty. We're supposed to have a stretch here for most of a week where it's minus 25 to minus 30. Again, that's Celsius, so whatever that is in Fahrenheit, for those of you that understand Fahrenheit better than Celsius. It's cold, that's what it is, it's cold.
Out of all 9 horses, Jezzy is the only one who has been doing any kind of shivering and shaking, and after looking closely at her fur coat and just how much hair she has, she just doesn't have the same kind of thick coat as the rest of the horses do. The rest of the horses are also covered in snow, but they have a good gap in between their skin and that snow blanket that they've got on that's keeping them insulated. And so Jezzy just is trapping too much cold air close to her body, so she's just not able to stay as warm as the other ones. So we are going to help her out with an insulated blanket just to keep the wind off of her and just to keep her warmer. I think this is also part of the reason why she has lost a bit of weight as well, is just because her body is working harder than everybody else to just try and stay warm.
In this case, you can throw a blanket on her, so we're gonna get all the snow off so it doesn't melt and create condensation. Well, you've come a long way, Jezzy girl. All shivering cold. I'm gonna go have to get a halter. Doesn't want to just stand here for me like I thought she was going to. Alright. No more doing it the lazy way. I thought she was gonna stand. She's not scared of it or nothing, she just kind of walks off. So I'll tie her up. wild to think that when we pick this mare up, oh, it'd be when we picked this bear up about a year ago, you could hardly touch her. She just so skittish. Gotta brush you off again, girl. Put you in with the littles. So she has had a blanket on her before. Amanda just put one on her. The last real cold's good.
It has truly been incredible just to see how far this mare has come since the end of January and earlier this year in 2024. Jezzy was one of the 3 that we adopted from the same situation. Jezzy, Dottie, who is actually currently on her left, and then Sugar, who we did end up having to put down just because of severe laminitis, and her foal is Ladybug. So there's a little bit of history there. When we first met Jezzy, she was curious, but she was very, very shy to be touched. She really did not have much trust for us at all. She didn't know what grain was. She was not excited about it at all. She barely would even take a nibble. And for quite a while, we just had to work on gaining her trust and getting her halter trained. When we actually brought her home, we had to go as far as separating her out into her own pen and actually roping her, and then getting a halter on her when it was safe to do so, and loading her up in the trailer and bringing her home. After that, it was several weeks of just, playing the pressure release game of asking for her to face up with 2 eyes, asking for her to relax type of thing, until the point where we could finally halter her without having to chase her around the pasture for 15-30 minutes. And now she can be unsure, absolutely, but she has definitely come a really long ways in the last 11 months. And while she definitely had the summer off, we really didn't do a ton of training with her other than just working on her picking up all 4 feet and getting her trimmed up properly and make sure that she was well halter broke and would stand quietly while tied. We really didn't do a ton other than just the normal desensitization of just seeing if she'd allow us to pet her further than her withers. She would shy away, step away, and walk circles around you if you touched her any further back than her withers and rib cage. So she spent most of the summer just working on trusting us, and it's been incredible just to even watch how her expressions have changed. You can see here by her ear posture that she's a little bit unsure about what's going on, but she's still eating. Her nostrils aren't flared. She's just kind of letting him figure out the buckles and stuff with this blanket. which, I mean, if we had tried that in the summer or even last spring, that would have been an absolute nightmare, considering she wouldn't even let us touch her rib cage or hips with our bare hands. The professional farrier that trimmed her feet this past summer definitely agreed that there is some past trauma there with her hind end. He figures that she got in a bad wreck of some kind, and you could probably use your imagination as far as what that could have entailed. So we've just been taking it slow with her and just showing her that she can trust us and that we're not going to hurt her. And yeah, with that, she's come a long ways, and we're going to just keep on slowly working with her. She's a very, very sensitive horse and very smart. And so we want to take our time, but also make sure that we're communicating with her clearly when we are doing any kind of training. And so, kind of over the winter, I think we'll do some more just, petting all over, working with her feet. Wearing a blanket is going to be really, really good for her, even just desensitizing to things flapping around. And she's just overall really quiet and really sweet. And we've definitely, I think, fallen head over heels in love with this little red roan mare.
Okay. Well, girl. Auntie Magoo, you ready to go visit the youngers? There. Well, tell you what, for being a green herb broke horse, she's pretty good. Hey, girl. What do you figure? We're gonna go put her with the. We'll put her with the young ones, so the rest don't pick on her. Come on, girl. I just don't. We don't want them walking through the bush and getting caught on stuff with this blanket on. Okay. So while it's real cold, she'll just hang out in here. Hang out with the youngers, keep them some manners. Alrighty. Welcome to winter. It's a little chilly. Feels good. I like it. Amanda's not quite as much of a fan, but we're all munching away. Hey, Gracie. Watch out, girl. Hey, move your butt over for me. Come on. Alrighty. Another choring done. Away we go. Head on the inside. Find a coffee. And enjoy the warmth. Merry Christmas.
Well, good morning. It is currently minus 20 degrees Celsius. Feels like minus 30. We got snow and it was crazy windy yesterday, which caused a lot of drifting and just snow covered everything. Stan moved Jezzy over to the wiener pen and threw a blanket on her just because she cannot stay warm for the life of her. Poor girl. So once it dips below a certain temperature, we have been throwing a blanket on her. But you guys are all sassy and ready for breakfast. Despite you guys not seeing a ton of Stan when I make these videos, I promise you he is here. He just works his butt off trying to support our family and working his 8 to 5, which ends up usually being like an 8 to 6 or 8 to 7, depending on the day. But he is the reason why we can have the farm that we have. I cannot feel my fingers. Like, they're going numb now. Everybody's fed. Up, let's go. We're done for now. Just too cold to